If you look at the major LGBT communities throughout the United States, the ones that are going to be familiar is going to be New York, it's going to be Chicago, it's going to be Los Angeles, San Francisco, but there actually is a thriving LGBT community in a small city in the scorching desert, just 2 hours from LA. Today, Palm Springs is out and proud. It's a major LGBT community that's out there thriving. That didn't happen by accident, and it certainly didn't happen overnight. And to understand how this city became what it is, you have to understand the Hollywood secret. Let's rewind back to the 1930s. So in the 1930s, Hollywood and LA were extremely busy. They were making a ton of movies. Groups of people in the industry from, clothing designers to set directors to actors, most of them in their contract had a clause that they had to be 2 hours away from LA because if they needed to get back to the studio, that was a pretty quick trip back to LA. That's why Palm Springs became what it was. It was 2 hours away from Hollywood. And because of that, it became this thriving, sort of secret kind of community away from Los Angeles and all the busyness that's going on with the movie business. And people could be yourself here. And many creative people came out there here at this time. And there were artists, there were, anybody in the industry. It was a thriving place to be for Hollywood to be here through, the 30s, probably, all the way through the late 1950s. Let's take a look at some of the homes in Palm Springs that stars and people in the business actually lived in. And many of them had ficus hedges around them for privacy, but ultimately the backyard was the center of attention because of having parties around the pool, obviously daytime, nighttime kind of thing. This became a place where people could party and not be bothered. And that was the main attraction to having, a home, actually dinner party or party at home. There were some restaurants out here, obviously, at the time, but many people in the business kept to themselves in homes around Palm Springs. That was a major thing that people enjoyed, being here, being able to just kind of let their hair down and enjoy being themselves. So this is the part that really fascinates me the most. So you had a time period where people were escaping from Los Angeles and Hollywood and all that stuff to an era. It probably started in the late 1950s where people began to actually purchase homes from creative types. And then also, they began to set up stores, became, there were merchants here. They started to invest in the city itself. During the weekends, even in the summertime, a lot of coastal people will come to Palm Springs and get out of the June gloom along the Pacific coast. So here we have, the area right around the Rowan Hotel, and then also some bars on Arenas, which are extremely busy during the summer and throughout the season. So why is Palm Springs gayer? Honestly, it's because it offers something more rare. Yes, we have the sunshine, we have the pools, we have the mountains, but this desert has given us for generation permission to reinvent ourselves, permission to find our community, permission to belong.